Thank you, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for over-representing Indonesia. But what I would like to share with all of you is not too specific Indonesian case. My colleague, Mr. Agustin, has raised some of the major points that related to Indonesia. But instead, I would like to reinforce and re-emphasize some of the policy perspective that not only relevant to Indonesia, but hopefully relevant also for other countries as well, at least within East Asia regions. The first point, I think, it's very clear that we need to accelerate food productions globally and at some national levels. So we need to increase productivity, growth, and productions, not only, of course, in terms of quantity, but also quality dimensions, particularly nutritious values. So I think there is some issues related to that on structural changes from focusing on only stable food, but also to looking at more deeply some other source of nutritious food like horticulture, also livestock. I think in Indonesia, my feeling is our emphasis perhaps has been too much heavily on stable food so far. Some of the policy perspective related to this, first of all, I would like to emphasize the importance of infrastructure, particularly in the case of Indonesia, is the most important things irrigations, because current irrigations scheme infrastructure about 70% is not functioning well. So by investing in irrigations, we think that we can increase cropping intensity, productivity, and finally food productions. And the second specific policy related to food production is, of course, investments on research and development, with, I think, priority areas on developing new crop varieties, of course, include animal breed, not only having high yield potential, but also better nutritious values. I think that's there is a new dimension in that. And the third point related to production is, of course, promote applications of more sustainable production system with environment friendly and less hazardous to human health, including, of course, I think the issue on food safety standard on this. The second major policy perspective I would like to share is, of course, we all understand that the availability of food production per se is not sufficient. So the second major policy agenda is to increase household access to adequate and better quality food. On this general, more specific aspect, I think I would like to emphasize more specifically, particularly for non-continent countries like Indonesia, which is, which consists of so many islands, traveling from one region Java to out of Java, like traveling to some other countries actually. So there is complex logistic systems which implies also high transportation costs. So I think the clear policy agenda on that is to improve regional and local distribution system, so we can reduce transportation costs and also facilitate timely delivery of food supply to the needy regions. And the second specific policy related to that is to promote a better post-harvest and handling system to maintain food quality. I think in some other session and other speaker also mentioned that. And the third policy agenda is to promote development of regional and local food reserve system. I haven't heard from some other speaker on this, but again, related to diversity of the regions in Indonesia, with diversity also on culture, in promoting the local and regional food reserve system is very important, so as to enable a local authority to respond quickly, particularly in the case of emergency, because it will be highly costly to deliver food supply from the centers. Okay, I move on to the third major policy agenda is to promote diversifications of diets, particularly in the countries with heavily dependent on a single staple food. Our colleague from Cambodia has clearly mentioned dependent on rice in Cambodia, and I think even more serious for Indonesian case. About 95% of our populations consumes rice. Well, Cambodia, small country, but Indonesia with 235 or 240 million population now, that's quite a burden to make this rice supply available. So that's why I think perspective to diversify diets to some other sources of staple, not only relevant from nutrition's point of view, but also from a development point of view, to reduce our burden to a single commodity supply. So I think in some other session yesterday, Dr. Mark Roskan has also emphasized on this, the importance of course, even though it's takes time and very difficult to promote changing diet, but some activities such as promotions and increased knowledge, awareness of people to have more diversity of diet is very important. This initiative also will have a positive aspect to the production side, to create a demand for some other staple. I think the last point that I would like to share with you all more short-term and medium-term initiative related to in responding to price volatility that currently we are facing. I think this issue is too important to be neglected during this highly respected conference. There are three areas that perhaps can be cooperation's agenda between national governments and also international organizations as well. And this issue I borrow from G20 group initiative actually. The first is improvement on market information and transparency, because of what we experienced in 2007, 2008 is government as well as economic actor do not have accurate information related to market, particularly with regard to food reserve, food stock. And the second agenda is coordinations among national governments for better policy response. So what on quote the agreed or best practices on policy response that can be shared across government is very important. And the third area in short-term and medium-term initiative is develop risk management instruments for both producers, farmer, and also from consumers' point of view. So developing crop insurance and also derivative financial market for hedging, future market option, and that kind of things. I think that's all for the moment, Mr. Chairman, that I would like to say. Thank you.